welcome to All That Matters, a family life program sponsored by the Coconut Grove Seventh-day Adventist Church. We are your hosts,
Thomas George
and Marilyn George. The objective of All That Matters is to equip our audience on how to manage various family dynamics. The lessons will be derived from the experiences of our guests. And today we have with us Mr. and Mrs. Davis. Mr. Davis is actually a distinguished pastor within the Southeastern Conference. And here at Coconut Grove, we have been honored to be under the leadership of both him and his wife. Sister Davis was very instrumental in helping form the Coconut Grove praise team. Wow. However, let's find out what keeps this married couple relevant to each other.
All right, Pastor Davis, Mr. Davis, this one is for you. On the night of December 18th, 1988, where were you?
Well, that, where were we on December 18th?
That's your question.
Oh, I thought you said for both of us.
No, this one is yours.
Where I was? I guess I was in a house someplace.
Doing what, may I ask?
Doing what? I think what we were doing probably is not, what should I say now? It's something PG-13 rating, so I can't say it.
Okay.
I can't say it.
So let me ask you then, do you remember what time you left the reception?
Oh, honestly? She's saying that, yeah, it was sometime just after 9 o'clock. I mean, with all that excitement, you don't pay attention to time unless you have something on your mind, something special on your mind. Yeah.
So true. So then tell us, how did you guys meet and what was the first encounter like?
Oh, wow.
Okay. Well, tell her how we met. Well, let me give you the first part. The first encounter, I don't count it. I don't count it as a meeting. The first encounter was an assignment. I was asked to do youth day at her church. My friend from college was her pastor at the time, and we were trying to work out an evangelistic meeting, and so I was asked to do youth day this particular Sabbath. And needless to say, some person is going to say that I was late, but the point is that I was there on that special assignment, and I was a little behind time. So I never look at it as our first meeting, even though it was. It is a blip on the radar. So maybe she can tell you about our real first meeting.
Okay, tell us.
Wow. Well, what he's calling our first real meeting, or real first meeting, happened, I think it was a Tuesday after that Sabbath. I was at home and I was in the shower when I heard someone at my gate, and I quickly got out of the shower, got dressed, and went outside to find this gentleman and my pastor standing at my gate. Yes.
She was the assistant treasurer at the time, so the pastor needed to see her, and I happened to be with the pastor at the time.
Okay. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Yes, go ahead, tell him.
And I remember when I got to the gate, he looked at me and he said, "Wow." What did you say?
Okay. Let's say this. I saw the lady comes out. Okay. Because I don't think in my mind, I don't remember if I actually remember who I was going to see with the pastor, but I know this young lady came out, and like she said, she was coming from the shower, so she looked real fresh. I mean, she looked good. Okay. So I mean, I couldn't help myself. I had to say, wow, your husband must be taking very good care of you.
So let me ask you. Well, I guess both of you, you have been married for about 32 years now. Mm-hmm. Nowadays, wedding lasts for a month, a week, a year, maybe one day, too. What is the secret? What keeps you guys for so long?
Let her tell you, she's a boss.
Well, prayer.
Prayer.
A lot of prayer.
She's suggesting that I'm an evil person or something.
No. But relationships have their ups and downs.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, the constant is that we both have certain things that we believe in, and those are the things that keep us together. And prayer is one of them. Or relationship with God is the thing. Then let's put it that way. It's a relationship that we have with God, and we share the same.
Yes.
Well, okay. So that is one aspect. We do have all of those basic things together. We are opposites attract, and we are opposite. I mean, we are opposites.
Yes.
Okay. So, but there is a love that exists between us, and for me, when I comes with young couple who are planning to get married, I find a way to ask to figure out where the love is. And so for me, there's that love. And so it doesn't matter what come along, you are going to try to work it out, because there is that little thing going on there, that little fire in the eye,
Yeah. So knowing what you know now, if you were given another chance to recommit yourself to each other, would you?
Wow, let's see now. Let's see now.
See,
Let's see now.
you've disappeared. That's why you
Let's
disappeared.
let's see now.
You disappeared.
Let's see now.
Yes.
Let's see now. Let's see now.
That's why
Let's
you
see.
disappeared.
Let me think about it. That is the answer to that is in my mind is obvious. There's no thinking about it. There's no thinking about it. This is a journey that if the Lord allows me to live to 100, this one is going for the 100. So there's no question about that one.
Very nice.
So I mean, I don't know if you are like me, but has there been any time in your marriage that one of you had to leave the bedroom and sleep in a separate room because something didn't go too well?
No. If we sleep in a separate room, it's not because something didn't go well. It's that for whatever reason, one of us, I make a choice. I'm sitting in this office here, and I decide not to get up for whatever reason. If stuff has happened before, and actually I remember one incident where she didn't go into the bed, she went into the den. And of course, me staying up all night, I was in the office working until maybe about 11 midnight. And then I got up from there and I went and, sat down where she was and wake her up and say, let's talk.
Okay. So tell us, Sister Davis, this is for you, okay? Name one character flaw about Pastor Davis that you're still working on. And what about that flaw that irks you, if any?
Yes, I looked at, I thought about that, and I'm saying, okay, I don't know if it's so much a flaw, but it is something that irked me, because for me, there are some things I take at face value, okay? But yes, he's laughing. There are some things I'll just take at face value, but for him, he has to go and research, and I'm saying, let's just leave it alone where it's at. No, he has to go dig deep, and he has to find out exactly what it. And I'm like, honey, that we know, but that's just him. He has to do this deep digging into whatever it is. If he's not satisfied that, okay, I can just take it as it is.
Yes,
so that's
I think too. We see that in his sermons. Well, I saw that his sermon at Coconut Grove, where one point, I mean, he gave you so much information on that point. You were like, whoa. So yeah, I think I will agree with analysis there. What about you, Pastor Davis?
Oh, well,
character flaw?
Well, it's her weakness now. She gets frustrated very easily. We got dressed a while ago, right? And she had on a black top, and I said, no, the black top is playing games with the background, so change it. And she tried one, And we said, no, that can't work. She came in here with another one, and as she sat down, the color was, definitely off.
Right.
So she went into the other room to get this that she has on here, and she's saying, I can't find anything, and you better go do the interview all by yourself. So she gets frustrated very easily.
Okay.
So when did you develop complete trust in each other? What experience led you to that ultimate?
Oh, I didn't ask her that question. You want to answer that, Mr. Weeder? Let me hear.
I don't think it was anything specific,
Mm-hmm.
but I found him to be a person who he is meticulous about things, and because of that depth that we were talking about, it's frustrating, but it's also attractive, right? And because I know that he's not gonna just glib over anything, it give me the the comfort to confide in him, to know that I can trust him, because anything we're doing or anything that is said, he's gonna really look into it and make sure that it is what it is supposed to be.
Okay.
And if I might give you a quick experience, when we just when I when I just discovered how I felt about him, that was that also tied into what happened afterwards with this how he is, because I didn't know, I wasn't sure how I felt, I wasn't sure what was happening to me, and what he said to me that day was I started crying, saying I want my mother, and he just looked at me and said, I'll be your mother. Yes, and because of the trust I have in my mother, and he just said, I'll be your mother. Yeah. So
So there is friction in every relationship, us and everybody else. How do you handle your differences?
You mean friction like, I might want to kill her or something like that? That kind of friction?
That too.
Okay. Let her tell you. Let her tell you how she handled her differences.
Well, when there are differences, if we can't talk about them at the moment, then somebody leaves. Most times.
Clarify.
Most times it's gonna be him. He'll
Clarify.
walk, meaning
Okay.
he'll walk away, and we'll deal with it later, right? We don't shout at each other. We don't throw things at each other. Yeah. But we leave things if we can't discuss it. If one of us is too hot at the time, he said his mother told him some time ago that someone has to be water. If there's fire burning, someone needs to be water. So he will leave the scene, and we get back at it later.
So is that an understanding that you guys reached much later in your relationship, or was it something that you guys decided upon, that if ever we're gonna have an argument and we can't see eye to eye at the moment, I am going to walk away, which is you, Pastor Davis, walk away until I've cooled down and collected my thoughts?
Like you guys have observed, I like to have a plan for everything. I like to write stuff down. So when we met, for example, I had to get a piece of paper, and I draw a column down the center, draw across the top, and I write pros, and I wrote pros in one column, cons, and then I put all the pros I could think about and all the cons, and then I cancel them out and see where it was leaning. And if it had leaned too much toward the cons, I would have said goodbye. So I like planning ahead. I like to see ahead, and so we had some basic ground rules, and that was one of them. That if it's getting too hot, I'm gonna walk away. Like she says, we're not in the shouting business. I'm not in the fighting business. We're not in the fighting business, and you know. So therefore, if we can't talk without getting hot, then the understanding is that I am going to walk away. And I have had one or two reasons, two times when I actually had to implement the walk away thing.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. Let's talk about money.
Oh, my money is my money. Okay, go ahead.
Okay. Your philosophy about money. Who pays the bills? How did you guys reach that agreement? And as you just said, what time in the relationship did your money become our money, or is it still my money and her money?
Well, it's always my money. My money is my money. Her money is my money.
Oh. Okay. Expand a little for us.
I'm trying to figure out how we got to who pays the bill, but I guess I am an old-time male kind of person. Okay, so I automatically see that as my responsibility to make sure that the bills are taken care of. So I don't remember how that started, whether we decide who was going to pay the bill, but it's one of those automatic things for me. You know, you're a man, you make sure that the bills are taken care of. So you know, from that basis, you know, the bills are taken care of.
Okay.
It was never a toss up. It never became a toss up between us. It's just automatic. You know?
Yeah. As a matter of fact, when you talk about death, I recently, like I said, I was thinking about that reality, and I said, you know, I really need to talk to her about the paying of the bills. Because she doesn't ask me if the bills are paid. She just assumes that the bills are paid. You know what I mean? And in terms of accounts, well, like I said, her money is my money, and my money is my money. But yes, but anyhow, playing games, joking around anyhow. But we have savings account, and both our names are on the account, right? And we have two checking accounts at present, and one is under her name, one is under my name. And when I say under her name, under my name, both our names are on the accounts.
Okay.
Both our names are on the account. It's just that there's one that she uses and one that I use, and each of us have access to it. You know, these days you have. Okay, I'm gone. See that? When I move, I'm gone. These days you have these gadgets here. Oh, there goes granddaughter. These days you have these gadgets, and so you can do online banking. So if we go online banking, then we're looking at all the accounts, you know. So if when I'm paying bills, for example, if after I've paid bills, I discover that there's another one to pay, and there's not enough money in the account that I use, because my check goes into the account that I use regularly. So I pay the bills from that. And if there's not enough money there and there's a bill to be paid, I'll just transfer some money from the other account into it, you know.
Okay.
And I do that, and I'll tell her after the fact. Now, if she's going to spend the money, she's going to call me and ask me, is it okay if I, you know, do so and so, you know. I tell after the fact.
Okay.
But in terms of from the beginning, my philosophy is, this is my money, your money, okay? So if one day you decide you're gonna leave me and you want to take all the money that we have, then if you want to rob yourself, then so be it. You know, so I mean that is my philosophy.
Okay. Don't forget we have people who are learning from your lessons. Okay, so tell us the right thing.
Okay, so all I'm saying is that, you know, the money is our money.
I agree.
Yeah.
It's our money, and so, you know, hey.
Okay, we'll take that. Okay, and with that laugh, we will be right back with all that matters.
Okay.
Hello everyone, welcome. This is Teresa with The People's View. Now, in case this is your first show, every week during the show, we ask random persons questions based on what is happening in the show. Now, this week's question was, It is said that sex should be reserved until after marriage. Why do you think that is? Let us hear what the people had to say.
Please note that the views and opinions expressed on the People's Views are not those of the Coconut Grove SDA Church or any other SDA church or conference. The views and opinions heard here are strictly that of the general public.
Hello, good afternoon. I am of this belief. I agree with this statement for a number of reasons. One, my background is a Christian background. I was grown up in a Christian home, and so that was the teaching or the order of the day. I believe that with sex comes a lot of emotional and spiritual ties. So we talk about soul ties, and you would want to also reserve a number of things for the person you are becoming one with. I know that there are a lot of scriptures that support marriage before sex.
I think it should, because back in the days, that's what people used to do, and that's what the Bible said also. Because of generation, things changes, but a lot of time we let our feelings clouded our judgment, and we make decisions that we regret after. And I think sex should reserve after marriages, because at least that would give you the time to get to know the person more better, to trust the person, and to love the person more. Because once you become husband and wife, there shouldn't be divorce. And I think the reason why the divorce rate is so high is because a lot of time people didn't get to know the person enough so they can know who they're getting involved with and married. But so sex after marriage, I honestly think that should go back to the days where you should really know the person and wait until when that person become your wife or your husband, because once you become husband and wife, that should be for life.
Now, I understand that as 21st century Christians, we often wonder, is the Bible still practical? Should I still be following these ancient words? Hasn't the Bible changed, or hasn't it become irrelevant? But consider your body, your virtues, who you are as an individual, as a flower. If as a flower, I get myself in a relationship and I start giving away the beautiful petals that God has created me to be, I start losing the value that God has put on me. My flower starts to look dilapidated and all of that. The more I give before marriage, the more sex I have before marriage, is the less I have after marriage. So you may be saying, but I have a lifetime with this person. Here are some reasons that I think you ought to wait. Apart from the fact that you have deflowered yourself before marriage, your experiences before marriage are now used to compare with your partner after marriage. So he or she may not live up to the standard you were used to. And that in itself is an ingredient to break down your marriage. Other than that, we ought to believe, we ought to accept, we ought to realize that Christ has created each of us as a special being, a special flower. When he wants us to be with the right person, take the time to think, if I give away all that is special about me to the wrong person, what is it that I have to give when the right person comes along? Take this principle in anything you do in life and then apply it back to this very question. If your desire is to have that job promotion at work, you work hard. You are not distracted by co-workers or for the negative things in the workplace. If your desire is to become a doctor or lawyer or some other field and it takes years to get there, you work hard day and night to get it. You are not distracted by the parties or by the friends because your goal is to get where you want to in life. Consider sex the same way. If it is that I work on myself and who I am, and I get to know the other person and get to know who he or she is, sex will be more special when I've made a decision that this is the person I want to spend my life with. Why wait? You wait for you. You wait because you want to be the flower. You want to remain the flower, as that person should make the choice to remain the flower. And when you both bloom together, you'll have many more seasons to bloom together.
Well, there you have it, folks. Until next time, this is the People's Views. Bye.
Welcome back to All That Matters, and our special guest today is Pastor and Mrs. Davis, and we are going to have the segment, How Well Do You Know Me?
That's right. And the first question is, when was the last time you said I love you to each other? Write it down.
Write it? Okay.
Yes, and then let's see the answer on the paper, please.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, you're right. Probably I did this one way.
Come
Okay,
on.
for today, and I see
Sister Davis.
Okay,
morning, so they have the same answers. Okay.
All right, great.
Pastor Davis, this one is for you. What day, D-A-Y, what day and time was your first child born? And Sister Davis, you write the answer also.
Okay. What day?
Uh-huh.
I have no idea what day now.
Or the date.
No day.
Oh, the date is the easy one.
Date? Are we writing date or day?
Day. Give us the day. Because
I know day.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
The day.
Yeah. Let's keep some things private. Right? Yeah.
All I can tell you is that, let's see, I see.
Well,
Come on.
Okay. I see it.
Oh, but I have day and date. Is that okay?
Oh, yeah.
Day and date.
Yeah.
Okay, that was.
She's supposed to remember the day. Oh, we're gone. You're gone. You're gone.
I'm
Pull
gone?
back.
Okay.
There you go.
It was a Friday, 11 a.m., July
Wow.
21st.
All
Okay.
right, great.
Yep, see?
That's Pastor Davis.
I'm getting old. I gotta forget some things.
All right, next one. Who gets up first in the morning?
Well, that depends, I guess. It depends on what's going on. Depends on how late I went to bed.
Right.
Oh, who get up first in the morning? It's gonna be depend. That's what we don't have to write down because it's gonna depend.
Okay,
You know,
okay.
how late I went to bed, that kind of stuff.
Yes.
Okay. All right, let's move on. Tell us, Sister Davis, tell us, what is Pastor Davis's favorite color? And Pastor Davis, you write yours also. What is your
Right,
favorite?
my color?
Yep.
That's an interesting proposition. Maybe for me, it.
No, right. Right, dear. Right.
I don't know.
All right, so I'm writing a color.
All right, spell it the other way if you want.
That's right.
Let me see.
Come on, spell.
I got it wrong.
Spell it the other way. Like I said, I don't have a favorite color when I think about it. I once upon a time I did, but right now at this stage, I really don't. So I like dark colors. I wear gray, a lot of gray. My suits are different shades of gray.
Okay. All right. Next question. Who is the best driver?
Oh, I mean, come on.
we should know that one.
Pull it back.
Oh, he wrote that one with capital letters. Oh my goodness. Okay. Who is the most spiritual in the home?
Oh.
Wow.
Whoa. always calls for family worship or for prayer, etc.
Okay.
Let's see if I can write this down. Guess I need more paper.
She, we the okay.
Okay, you saw mine? Okay.
Okay.
Sister Davis, on which side of the bed does he sleep? Pastor Davis, you write your answer.
It depends on. It depends on.
Stop, write your answers. Stop talking.
Well.
That's great.
Well, that's why I said depends. You have to clarify. Are you standing up looking at the bed, or are you lying down on the bed?
What, you're sleeping? You lying down on the bed?
So if I'm lying down on the bed,
Yes.
it is gonna be this. Come on, show paper.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
It's gonna be the left side if I'm lying down on the bed.
Yeah,
that's why you see. So that's you need clarification.
Because for me, I have it right because I'm looking at the bed like that, and he's thinking the other way.
Okay.
Yeah, we're thinking the same way.
And
So
then,
if I go into the room and she's on my side of the bed and that's my side, the left side of the bed, something is up. I mean, yeah.
Okay, we got that.
so who does the cleaning or most of the cleaning in the house?
Write it.
She does.
Okay.
Okay, we'll ask you just two more questions, okay? Maybe, well, I am supposing the two of you would know that because Pastor Davis is a very handy person, okay? Is your stove gas or electric?
Okay.
That's easy, electric.
Electric.
Yeah, she knows that. She knows that one. She knows that one. It's electric.
Electric.
She knows that one.
Electric.
Okay. Tell us, where did you go on your first date?
May I answer that one?
Write that down.
Go ahead, dear.
Right.
Go ahead, dear.
We haven't had a first. We never had a first date.
Okay.
I'd say that the way we met and developed the relationship, that was a whole lot of dates. Because what I said to you earlier, I met her through a pastor because of we had a plan together. So I met her because of church, an evangelistic event. I was going to be the preacher, and of course I needed someone to go with me door to door, walk the community, and she was the person available. Okay. So not only did I meet her that day, looking fresh, but when they were trying to find me someone to go walk with me, she was the one that was available. So when you talk about first date, I had several of those.
Okay.
Walking in the community, knocking on people's doors.
I had several of those, man.
Okay. Well, let us end this segment with this question. What are some of the things that you say to each other during the day while you are away from each other, just to remind each other that you love each other, and you just can't wait to come back home to each other?
Guess what?
Yes, dear.
Guess what? Right now, we hardly spend time away from each other because we're home. COVID has kept us home. So
right.
When I used to work and I had to be out, when I had a job where I was
gone 9 to 5 every day.
Then we would call each other during lunchtime, or sometimes on my way home I'd call.
Yeah, that one, no is yeah, it's like when we were down in Coconut Grove and stuff like that, and she was like at the health department. Then we'd call once or twice a day, chat whatever we say. Of course, I love you at the end of the story, whatever it is. But we'd talk. Don't remember all the words we say. Just depends on what pops into my head at that particular point in time. Deciding to be mischievous, but we always call during the day, and sometimes I'd get a call like at 4 o'clock, and at that point I say,
she forgot to call.
Now you're about to get off work. You're trying to call so that you can say that you have called, huh?
Okay. So tell us, did COVID bring the relationship any closer?
What? You tell her.
Oh yeah. Well, COVID didn't really affect our relationship significantly.
Said it true.
Yes.
Said it true.
Yes.
COVID didn't bring the relationship any closer.
Because
Finish it. Yeah.
Because we've been like this for the past 32 years.
So it's like
yes, yeah.
So COVID didn't do anything for us one way or the other. We didn't want to kill each other, and it's
okay. Well, with that said, we will be right back.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Welcome back to All That Matters, and our distinguished guest today is Mr. and Mrs. Davis.
Amen. And what has been the greatest obstacle you have faced in your long marriage? The greatest obstacle?
Well, go ahead and tell her the obstacle there. Go ahead, tell them. Tell the saints would like to know.
I'm thinking. You
I think really, for me, the greatest challenge in our marriage, as far as I am concerned, is actually not with us, but it is with our youngest child.
Yep.
Okay.
He has challenged us to the max.
Okay.
That's on our knees.
Yep. If you never prayed in your life,
you've prayed.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Okay. We want to.
But may I also say that he is the apple of my eye. Well, I mean, yeah. I mean, he and I have a special bond. He's even though he's the one who has caused us to pray the most. I wouldn't trade him for anybody's child.
Okay. All right. Tell us something that you wish you had known about each other before you committed to each other.
Wow.
Let's see now. Honestly, I can't find one.
Okay.
To be honest, this has been a wonderful journey. A wonderful journey. Thank the Lord. Yeah, a wonderful journey. When I am away from home, when I go out for the day, I want to come back home. Let's put it this way. I go to workers' meetings sometimes, and it's going to be at the campground or a hotel someplace, and I go to the campground, and that's 120 miles, a couple hours drive, and I'll come back home at the end of the day when the day's activities are over. I'll come back home.
Okay.
Because, I don't like to be away from her, and when she goes away from me, I mourn. I don't cook, I don't go to bed, all those things I don't do.
Okay. You made mention of your son, well, not by name, but made mention of your son earlier. Just tell us, how did having children affect the dynamics of your relationship? Because at one time it was just you as a single, right, both of you. Then you guys got married, you were together doing your own thing, and then children came into the mix, right? So how did having children affect this dynamic there?
I know I can answer, but let her tell you. But I have the answer for that one ready long time.
Oh, really?
From the very first year.
Okay.
Go ahead, tell her.
Having the children, okay. They came in, and of course, it meant giving time to them, sharing my time, where as they were babies. Then as they grew up, going to school, had to make time for school and all of that. But where our relationship between the two of us was concerned, it has not changed it. Mm-hmm. But just that we fit the children. We fit the children. The children fit in quite nicely for me, because we were able to shuffle.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. See, he has a different mix.
I just say, that maybe I should have thought about this whole thing of having children, because let's put it this way. When I was single and I went to church, the church sisters in particular, they would bring me stuff and they would say, Pastor, this is for you. Okay? Then I got married. And they say, Pastor, this is for your wife. And then we started having children. And they said, Pastor, this is for your wife and the children. So I got sidelined completely. And of course, when it was just the two of us, I had her all to myself, because I like to have her to myself. So I had her all to myself, and then all of a sudden some kid came along, and all of a sudden this kid is competing with me, for her time, but honestly, yeah.
All right, so since we are on that subject, what is the most challenging part of being married? Mm-hmm.
For me, it's the time share, the sharing of time, because sometimes I want to do what I want to do, but then I have to consider that sometimes for example, I'll leave home and say, honey, I'll soon be back. My soon might be a couple hours, right? So I have to take into consideration that I said to him, oh, I'll soon be back. Okay. So I have to cut short. Sometimes I have to cut short to get home. So for me, that's it. That's it. The basic thing.
Okay. Well, with that said, what would you say are his strengths as a husband? And Pastor Davis, the same to you. What would you say are her strengths as a wife?
As a husband, he's a good caretaker, right? He's loving. He's kind. He looks out for me. Seriously, looks out for me in everything. Yeah. Yes.
Pastor David?
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, actually, I was trying to find the weakness, because that might have been easier to answer. Because, it's like, for me, everything is almost perfect. Honestly, I'm not over exaggerating anything. You say she cares a whole lot. But let's put it this way. When I leave home, I say I anticipate going home. Okay? Mm-hmm. I grieve when she's gone for a weekend. Those things should tell you that I love what I have with her. Living with her without her is not something I can envision. Mm-hmm. because well, she completes me or something like that. Not completes me, but pick a trait that you'd want in a person, in a relationship, and she's got it. Like I said to you, you asked earlier, what's her weakness, and she gets frustrated easily. And as far as I am concerned, in my marriage, in our marriage, that is the negative for me. She gets frustrated a little bit too easy. But
okay.
So this next question is for both of you. What is one thing that you do that makes you feel glad you are married to each other?
I do.
What is one thing Sister Davis do that makes you feel glad you are married to her?
Oh, okay, got you.
I don't know. What's that one thing there?
I don't know. You got to think about your thing.
Okay.
And I'm thinking about my thing. Okay.
Well, while she think about her thing.
Okay. One thing he does that makes me glad that I'm married to him, he makes me comfortable in the relation, comfortable about myself and comfortable in our relationship.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you still thinking, Pastor Davis?
Like I said, she's a very spiritual woman. She's a very spiritual woman, and yeah.
Okay.
I couldn't live without that. Let's leave it at that. Yeah.
Okay.
She's a very spiritual person.
All right. In the short time we have left, right now they have many young people watching. Some of them might be contemplating marriage or courtship right now. What words of advice can you give or share with them?
Well, okay.
Okay, I would say, do not be quick to run into a relationship. Get to know the person as much as possible. Spend time together, and when I say together, I mean spend time in company with the person, and let your relationship be founded on Christ. Make Christ the first, make him priority in your relationship.
Okay. I'll tell you what I tell my daughter. If the person that you're getting involved with loves Jesus, I don't mean go to church. I don't mean go to church. If the person that you're getting involved with loves Jesus, he will love you. If you're female, of course. If you're male, she will love you. But that for me, that's number one priority. Because I'm talking to Christian young people then.
Right.
So I'm saying that person must be in love with Jesus, must have a strong spiritual foundation. And if the person have strong spiritual foundation, then for me, you have a base to start. The compatibility factor, all of the other stuff will now fall into place because you're working on those things. But number one, make sure that person loves Jesus. If they don't love Jesus, you say goodbye, thank you very much. It doesn't make any sense trying to figure out if we are a match.
Exactly. So, okay, so you addressed people who are contemplating, right? Let's talk about people who are actually in a relationship, not yet married though, but they're in a relationship and getting to that stage. What purity advice do you have for such young people? Because I believe that they find it challenging to wait till the wedding day. So what purity advice can you give to them?
Well, I think for Adventist young people, I would send them back to Ellen White and messages to young people. Okay, when you are gonna spend time in company, in each other's company, make sure that you plan your time together in a way that you don't put yourself in a compromising position. If you are in an area where there are other people around you, it's less likely that you're going to find yourself pushing the envelope too far. So, so be careful of, where you plan to spend your time. So in other words, then you're not all by yourself, locked away in some room, someplace, because if you are, as strong as you might be, chemical stuff happen in the brain. And when the chemical stuff start working in the brain, you can say that I am not going to do it, but then you're going to wake up and say, oh my, what have I done?
True. Okay. And Sister Davis, I will give you this question, talking to young people also, where perhaps you have a young lady who unfortunately is copulating before marriage, and it's in a relationship where she's not really interested in that person, but because they have come together, she finds it difficult to back away. Given that he or she is a Seventh-day Adventist, what advice would you give to that person?
And we're talking about two Seventh-day Adventist young people? Okay. The fact that the person...
And we have non-Adventist young people who are watching also, but they still believe in purity. So, what can you say to them?
Okay. Even if you have started, you've gone too far in your relationship. Remember, you're not married. You have not committed yourself to this person, and well, in a way you have, but it is still not too late to back out of that relationship, because you're in the end, what you're looking to do is to please God. And if you find that you're not strong enough to not get involved, stop things where they are and then work on the relationship, the best thing to do is to get out of the relationship completely. Step back from it, and then you can start. If you think you still love the person enough, then work from there, but do not continue on that road.
Amen.
Thank you.
And our time is up.
Our time is up. May I add to it? I give you what Ellen White says, and I give it to the people that I talk to in premarital education.
Yeah.
If you are standing before me at the altar.
Before you and Pastor Davis.
Yes, if you are standing before me to get married at the altar, and you are convinced that this relationship is not right, say, Pastor, I'm sorry, but we can't do this. It might seem embarrassing, but it's better to do that from the perspective of a person who have to counsel with church members who, after the fact, are coming to me. It is better to walk away right at the altar than to go into something that is going to be a lifetime of misery. Trust me.
That might be something to add to the part where you guys say, I'm paraphrasing there, where you say to forever hold your peace, like.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know what I
mean? But okay. So this is something, and since we're on it, this is something. Every couple that is thinking of taking their relationship to marriage, before they set a date, when you start thinking that maybe we could get married, at that point you're supposed to be thinking, which marriage educator am I going to see so that he or she can guide us to determine whether or not we ought to get married? Because I've been down the road where people have come to me and they should not get married, period, finish, end of the day. But most times people come after they've set a date, they come and they say, Pastor, I'd like you to counsel us and marry us. And it's too late at that point, because after sitting with them in the very first session, I realized these two young people are not to be married.
Right.
But they've already sent out invitation in some instances, and they're expecting you to. So walk away if you have to, and seek counsel before you make the commitment of dates and all those things.
Okay. Right. Okay. And the final question.
Yes, in the last 30 seconds we have left, at the end of it all, question is for both of you. At the end of it all, what matters to you most?
Wow. In terms of the relationship,
Yes.
well,
Our relationship with
Your
God.
relationship with God, what matters to you
Our
more?
relationship with God.
Okay.
Because if I start giving him trouble, if I start doing opposite to what God is expecting of me, then I'm gonna expect him to do what God expects him to do.
Right.
I put it this way. She told me when we were getting married, the day you leave God is the day I leave you.
I love that. I love that, right?
Yes.
yes. Well, we want to say a special thank you to Pastor and Mrs. Davis for just sharing the dynamics of their relationship. And I am certain our viewers are going to learn something from them this evening. So thank you very much. And thanks again for tuning in to All That Matters.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. It was a privilege being with you guys. Take care. God bless.
Well, of course, sex reduces stress. It boosts up your immune system. It helps you sleep, and it is heart healthy. So sex is just good for the body, but
Sex comes with responsibilities. It tends to emotionally bound you to someone, and it may mean emotionally attached to the wrong person. So while you may see red flags in that relationship, because you are having such great sex, your judgment may be impaired. So answer the question. Do you think it is a good idea to have sex before marriage? You know the answer. And if you follow Bible principles as well, you know the answer to that question. So empower yourselves to do the right thing. Till then, this has been All That Matters.